tuned into Motella Cast, hosted by DJ Mo City.
You are now tuned in to Motelacast, hosted by DJ Mo City.
Now this is the part about something that you're going to have to learn to do during this intro. It's just a few months. You have to decide that you don't care what others think of you.
I'm not going to use a headphone so I can be playing music in the background while I'm talking. If I use a headphone, it feels a bit too formal. Not really taking a Zoom call. Just going to be chatting about Motelacast. What is Motelacast? Why Motelacast? And yeah, what it's been like for the last 5 years. Pre-Box Out, post-OHM events, pre-264 crew. So yeah, I guess what is Motelacast? Motelacast is an online radio mix. It didn't have a radio station when it first started, but I always called it a radio show in the hope of one day it will be on a radio station. So I started Motelacast in 2015. Yes, shout out to everybody in the stream. So yeah, I started Motelacast in 2015. At the time I was living in Dubai. I was working for an events company called OHM Events. I was supposed to launch a podcast for OHM Events by the name of OHM Omcast, but then things took a turn and instead I announced Motelacast. Motelacast, the name comes from my initial obsession with Nutella. So they used to call me Motella, and then I was like, yeah, that sounds like a cool name. So we went with the name Motelacast. Didn't really think about it too much. I never really think about names of brands or things when I launch them too much. I kind of try to keep it easy. If I like it, I'm gonna end up enjoying the name and pushing it forward. So the name was Motelacast, delicious music spread for your head. That was the tagline in 2015. I started Motelacast with a MacBook Air and a microphone and an M Audio sound card. I recorded the first 60 episodes of Motelacast. Well, I made the first 60 episodes of Motelacast on Ableton. I never really used CDJs. I never had CDJs. I didn't have turntables. I didn't have a setup. I just had the laptop. I hit up my friend at the time, Sam, who worked at Ableton. And I was like, yo, Sam, man, I can't be using this cracked Ableton version. Can you please upgrade me? And he gave me a Ableton full suite, Ableton 9, I think, at the time. And that, yeah, a lot of us have installed that Ableton. So I do the show on Ableton. Why did I start doing the show? At the time in Dubai, I wasn't getting bookings. People didn't really know what I play. People didn't I played a few shows as Reggae Rajas, but I wasn't really playing reggae only. So I wanted to find a way where I could play the music that I wanted to play and kind of build a reputation for myself. It's kind of like starting from scratch, you know? I knew people in Dubai, I was doing events, but there wasn't really a musical direction that people knew me for. They knew I knew everything and I was a good curator, but I wanted to find a way to express the music side of things, not just being a promoter. Because initially I started off as a DJ MC, and then I went on to becoming a promoter. So yeah, as a DJ MC, you always have that urge to present something, to connect with people, find out if other people also vibe to this music. So yeah, Motelacast evolved over the years. but this is just the basic intro. So in 2015, we did the daily show. I mean, every Wednesday. We did it for maybe a year every Wednesday. And we had like a 1-year anniversary, which was our first Motelicast live event. I had 6 DJs on board for that event. We had Jameson as a sponsor. We had Mixcloud as an official partner. And it really, all it took was reaching out to these people and telling them what I wanted to do with the show and why I started the show. So initial stages of Motelicast, I wasn't really playing too much music that people send me, because I wasn't being sent any music like that, like right now. I was playing primarily music that I got online, music I heard at shows, music from Bandcamp, SoundCloud, and that's how I built the reputation to even be added on other labels' promo lists. And yeah, that's kind of where it started musically. I had my first special guest on Motelicast on the 4th episode, which was a producer from the UK who I met at Magnetic Fields. His name is My Panda Shall Fly. And then on episode 6, I had Daedalus from LA, who I booked for a show in Dubai. And I was like, man, I do this podcast. It just started. Do you want to be on as a special guest? He's like, yeah, I'd love to do a different kind of mix. I don't want to play what I'm going to do tomorrow at the show. So he did like a special Love Juke mix for us. Episode 8 of Motelicast, I recorded in Barcelona. I was there for Sonar, and the special guest for that was Magabo, who is one of the first global bass producers I got to know about and brought to India in 2012. Magabo was the guy who taught Diplo about Baile Funk. If you just go on YouTube and look up like Magabo Diplo, you'll see videos of early Diplo days learning from Magabo. Anyway, so episode 8 recorded in Barcelona. It was just cool because I had a laptop, sound card, and boom, I was just doing my thing. There are no expectations, just doing my thing. The first local guest I had was Radius. That was on episode 11. And then episode 12 I recorded in Jordan with DJ Saltu Sura, which I completely focused on like Arabic music only. So as you can see, like it became kind of like my tool. I could travel with it. I could do whatever I want. And there's really no expectations from anyone. You just kind of do your thing. And that's how Motelicast started and why I started it. My inspirations for Motelicast, clearly 2 epic shows. One is Selection Radio by Joe K, and the other one is Bandcamp Weekly by Andrew Jervis. Big shout out to Andrew Jervis. Andrew Jervis is one of the best presenters out there. He does this show where it kind of does a roundup of all the music from Bandcamp that's released that week. I used to listen to that show every Wednesday. And those are kind of like my inspirations for starting Motelicast. What up, Marco? What up, everybody? Yeah, we're just doing a little brief history on the radio show. 5 years online. I always called it a radio show, but we had no radio station. So I'm going to fast forward 2 years later. I moved back to India in 2016. I was still doing the radio show. I was doing it weekly. But I think in 2017, when we fully launched Box Out, I wasn't able to do the show anymore. I basically let's note down these questions. Definitely. Yo, if anybody can, Uday, if you can hold on some of these questions, we'll answer them in a bit. So yeah, 2016 moved back to India. 2017 launched Box Out. 2017 I did only 12 episodes of Motelicast because I couldn't do it as a weekly show anymore. I was barely able to do a monthly mix, and that kind of really fucked with my head. I wasn't happy about that, but I looked at it as some sort of way that if I am able to launch Box Out, a lot of other people will have the same platform and opportunity. Anyways, I'm gonna pause here for a second and go back to 2016. In 2016, Motelecast got nominated for Best Hip Hop Afrobeats Show on the Mixcloud Online Radio Awards. We didn't win that year, but we were consistent. I had definitely done more than 90 episodes by the time I kind of took a pause in 2017. In 2017, Motelecast was hot, but we just launched Box Out, so I had to take a step back from the show, and I wasn't really able to do the show. I did it monthly, but that year, in 2017, Motelecast won the Best Hip Hop Afrobeats Online Radio Awards. I was like, what the fuck? The people who I was nominated with were all legendary, like New York City DJs, London DJs, people who have been doing it for the last 20 years. I've been doing my thing for 15 years, but I never really thought that I could be, like, they were getting 20,000 plays on their shows. I was getting 500 plays on my show, but I was consistent, and I was hustling to make sure Motelecast was not just online. I did an event in Amsterdam with Mixcloud. I did an event in Bombay with Mixcloud, and that really kind of helped me introduce Motelecast outside of my own circle. And when Mixcloud got behind it is when it really kind of picked up a bit more. I saw a lot of support from the Mixcloud team in 2017 and 2016, and I talked to them as well. During all our conversations, I did mention to them that we're going to launch Box Out, and we're going to have about 100 to 200 creators on your platform eventually. So yeah, 2017, won the awards, took a hiatus, wasn't really recording that many shows. In 2018, same situation. 2018, maybe I did one show every 3 months. And I think late 2018, I decided that I'm going to relaunch Motelecast, and I'm going to be doing it weekly, and I'm going to be not taking a break from doing it weekly because I need it. It's kind of my thing, you know. I see a lot of other people doing radio, and I'm like, yo, what about my show? So I put up a post, say, who wants to kind of help me out? I need a little bit of help. I have a plan. I know how we're going to do the show, this 3.0 version, but I need some help. And yeah, I managed to kind of link up with some friends, people who I knew on the internet, I knew online and offline. Ritti, who's the designer behind a lot of the new Motelecast artworks. Anirudh, Uday, Shane, and Yusuf. Motelecast artwork needed a touch-up. The initial Motelecast artwork were all done by Curate Love. Curate Love did all the Motelecast artworks. He did the logo till the 2.0 launch when Ritti took over, and we kind of decided on this direction. We had a few meetings. I had a presentation. I made a PDF. I can actually upload the PDF online for everybody to see it. And I shared that PDF with the guys. We had a meeting in the room next door, and we decided that if we do Motelecast, we need a new strategy for the thing. We were no longer dependent on music that I'm going to discover. We were going to be dependent on promos from labels. We were going to be dependent on playing music that's never been heard before. And we are going to be taking in a lot of music that people send us. So we set up the email, info@motelecast.live, radio@motelecast.live. You can send us music. There's 3 of us. We'll always have a listen and hopefully include it in the show. So that's the kind of background story. 2019 became a weekly, every week live, every week audio stream, and yeah, it's been really great to do the show. It's been great to play other people's music who kind of needed that push and also have like some sort of like platform that believes in them. And I feel like that's what Motelecast is now. It's no longer what I'm trying to play outside of the club. It's music that's kind of like it's my journey whether it's music from India, Middle East, New York, London, Jamaica. You can hear all kinds of music on Motelicast. And we then launched a Spotify playlist. We started a newsletter. We started doing all these kind of like promotional strategies to push the radio show. And I feel like that's what really helped the show come back and revive its existence. And just today, earlier, I recorded episode 155. And yeah, there was a small break, which were the 2 years where we launched Box Out FM as a platform for everybody to have such an outlet. And yeah, it doesn't matter because I didn't quit and it didn't stop. We came back, we started the show, and now it's better than ever. I'm really happy with the outcome of it, especially at these times, because there's so much pressure to do so many things. And you're, as a creative, as an artist, I'm not talking as a promoter or as a businessman. That's something in the background. I'm just talking about as a DJ, as a curator, as someone who's trying to put this thing together. In these times, it's really important to like not lose focus and have absolute, like whatever best clarity you can get for yourself. So I decided not to do too many other streams. You gotta keep the door open. And I just said I'll do Motelicast. I'll do it weekly, and I'll also be doing video. So then we started doing video on YouTube. Maybe for the last 3 months, we've been doing the video on YouTube. And every week, with technology evolving, platforms making things more easier for us to access, I started to learn more about streaming. It's kind of like went backwards. And now I spend my times watching OBS tutorials. I watch Twitch channels that explain to you how to market your product. I watch all kinds of streams, me and the team. And that's kind of what really helped us figure out what best to do. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Good luck to all of us. I wanna basically bring on some people who helped me out on Motelicast and talk to them a little bit, and they will tell you what they do for Motelicast, and we can then have a few questions. I want to upload this video on YouTube too, because a lot of people ask me like, what is Motelicast? So yeah, anybody in the chat room wants to come in first? Uday, Riti, Anirudh, Yusuf, or should I add you guys? Abdul Habibi, Shaku Maku, Shakhbarak. Yo, Shaku Maku Net, what it do? How do I add somebody? I ain't never done this. Da-da-da-da-da. Mojo Land. Mojo.
Yo,
What up?
all good, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'll do a little introduction, and then you can kind of tell people a little bit
Yeah.
about what you do. And yeah,
Yeah,
so I think like you saw me DJing somewhere and started.
I saw you for the first time in Oster
Okay.
party. Yeah, that was the first time I saw you.
Okay, so
Sick night.
Oster Party was this crazy warehouse event we did in 2018 or 17. It was the
17.
launch. 2000. It was supposed to be the launch of a vape brand, which now is a lifestyle and culture magazine. That was a warehouse party. That's where I met Harsha too. Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, I saw you. Well, you saw me there.
Yeah.
You followed me on Instagram and other
Yeah.
platforms, and I kind of I recognized that you were always there. You were commenting. You were saying things. You had interest, and
Yeah.
that's how it started, right? Like
Yeah. So I
Uh,
used to like hit up like, hey Mo, what's up? I first chatted you for my guest mix on Box Out. That's where I chatted with you for the first time,
yeah.
and then it went on.
Then I put you in touch with Nishant or someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Uday came through in the meeting with Riti, Anirudh. We all had. Was there a fourth person in that meeting, or it was just you three?
No, just we three. Just we three.
Jetpack Ricky was only on WhatsApp, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
was
there
in
was
the
another,
initial team.
there was another dude by the name of Jetpack Ricky. He might be here on the stream. He has like 4 handles. Yeah, Jetpack. Anyway, so we
Future
met
Toys.
and we decided to divide all the different things we do. And at that time, we had already been added to like 10, 15 label promos.
Yeah.
And Uday, why don't you give them a little background on what you started doing?
Yeah, so in the first meeting we had, Mo told us like, so this is my plan. He had a proper document and all. He told us that the things which I love, I take my time to post it out. So we posted to him that, yeah, Mo, let's start with something. I can help you out. Then after a month, he replied back that, yeah, now I have something. So there were like proper documents out there. So in the documents, he had written, yeah, I want to do this, this, this. So one of that was he wanted to have some more promos from good labels, popular labels. So we then after that, in the first meeting only, we decided that we needed to make a template, a one sheet about the show. And that one sheet was, I think, pretty crazy. Like we got a good response from that. So we
Yeah.
got Stone's Throw from that. Then a couple
Hyperdub.
more. Hyperdub we got.
Oh my God, that was
Yes.
crazy.
So we wanted that, and
Let's
then
pause for a second. Let me
Yeah.
just explain what a promo list is. So
Yeah.
in the music industry, it started off with the records. You know, you take your record and you give it to a DJ in the club. If you want your record to pop, that DJ needs to champion that record, and that record needs to be played. So producers would make records and go out to the clubs giving their music to DJs so DJs could play their records. And that evolved into becoming a digital distribution method where labels would send the music in advance before the release to artists, to DJs, to hosts, to presenters. So this music should have already been promoted and played for 3 weeks before its release. What that does is it creates a lot of interest and people start asking, what are these songs? What is
Yeah.
this song? How can I get it? And that excitement pre-release is what really matters. The more music you have that is unreleased, the more likely you will get higher engagement too, because you're not playing the same music as everybody else. We might play music that we love, which is slightly more accessible, but the music that's never been played before, that's usually sent to you from the label directly. And our goal was to get on every fucking label that mattered.
Yeah.
And I think we hit at least 10 of the main labels we
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to get on.
Yeah.
I mean, the day Hyperdub Records followed me on Twitter and they're like, yo, what's your email? I was like, okay, good. We're getting some traction.
Yeah.
And so that's the promo list. The promo list isn't easy when you have a full-time job and you need attention. You need to pay attention to the promo list, otherwise you miss out on things. So Uday's role was to assemble the script. Now you can
Yeah.
tell them a bit about the script.
So I'll tell you where I start from. So on Monday is when I check out all the promos we've got from Indian artists, independent
Yeah.
artists. And then after that, I make up the script and then add all the tracks and the EPs on the drive. And that's when on Wednesday morning, then Mo checks it out. And then he finalizes a track list. Then he sends it back to me. Then I tag the artist who he's going to play in the show. So I tagged them on Twitter, and now we've started doing that on Instagram as well. And now that we are on YouTube as well, so we add that link as well. Then after that, I get the track list, like 1 hour. In 1 hour, I get the track list from Mo. Then the promotion work starts from there. I finalize the track list for Mixcloud and Box Out with the labels, names, and all of that. And then after that, I send it to Shane.
Let's
Yeah.
pause for a second.
Yeah.
So what is really important to keep in mind here is when you're doing a radio show, one of your main responsibilities is to introduce people to these records and have the correct information. So we try to provide the full details, artist name, label name, and the song name. That way, if we input this information into Mixcloud, the artist actually gets paid for this. Mixcloud pays whoever gets played. What that percentage is, I'm not sure. But the more we credit artists for their music, the more likely they're going to get paid. So put their track list up and that's kind of the next step, which is the marketing. How do we inform the artists that their music has been featured on a radio show in India hosted by some Iraqi dude? So, you know?
Yeah. So then I finalize the track list, then I go and tell Shane. Shane is from Dubai. So
He's actually from Sri Lanka, but lives in Dubai.
okay, he's from Sri Lanka but lives in Dubai. So I send it to him, then he creates the track list artwork, and it's based upon the content creative which Riti makes for the cover art of the show. So it's based upon that. And then after that, he makes an animation as well where I tag the artist in those animations. So if any day you see Mo's track list and it's like four stories of the same track list, don't think that, oh, he's gone mad or something.
He's
It's because
gone
we are
fucking mad.
yeah, we are tagging the artist in that. So that's about it. And then after that, and one of the main things I do is I send all the artists who are featured. I even tag them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and then go to the mail and find out about the mails of their managers, of the artists, of the label, and then that's the best place to get the response. I personally think the most response we have been getting is through that. Like I hit up the labels and artists and mail them that we have you on our episode, and we send them the track list artwork as well. So sometimes, like last episode, only one of the labels got the artwork and they shared on their Twitter page.
They shared it
BBE
everywhere.
Music.
They shared it on Facebook. They reposted it on Mixcloud.
Yeah.
This label has released J Dilla's 45s. This is one of the more iconic labels. It's existed for over 20 years. And they're one of the first labels that added me to their promo list. So seeing them share it was a highlight for us. Cool, man. I'm going to log you out and hopefully bring someone else in.
Yeah.
Actually,
Bye-bye.
wait, before you log out, hold up.
Yeah.
So after you started doing the Motelecast script, you eventually started your own show.
Yeah, I need to talk about that as well. So my music taste has totally changed from the first episode I did. It's totally changed. Now I'm focusing more on independent artists, like the Indian producers as well. And like I've got to know a lot of artists from Mo's show. Like as he told you, he's learned a lot from Selection and Bandcamp Weekly. I have learned a lot from Motelecast, not kidding. And I listen to his shows, and me basically like putting the music on the drive, I get to know a lot about the artist, even who we haven't put on the show. So that's how I realize, and I try my best to like compile all the shows. And now I have myself also started doing a live show. Before the lockdown, I was doing a live episode of my show, and it's called M168, and it's on boxout.fm. Yep. So that's about it.
M168 will include a link. Yeah, check it out. So that's Uday. Thank you, dude. We'll catch up in a bit about the track.
Yeah, and I have a question for you, which was asked by someone.
Yeah.
What advice will you give who wants to create something similar to Motelecast?
Cool. I'm going to get into that right after you get out.
Yeah. Cheers.
Also, someone asked for what is the song of the week? That could be cool, you know?
Yeah, this song of the week was, for me today, was the Non-Resident label song. Yeah.
That was a song.
Sick song. When I first heard it, I'm like, for sure, Mo is going to add this on the episode. Yeah.
The guy came from New York to India, set up a meeting. We met him at a cafe here, and he told us about the launch of the label. And I was just waiting for that song to come out. So that's cool.
We're going to upload it tomorrow or day after and just hear it. It's crazy.
Boom. Nice one.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
That was dope too. Yeah. Cheers, bro. Speak in a second.
Yeah.
Boom. So before we bring another person from the team, I'm just going to quickly answer that question. Sachin, bro, I miss you. Hope you're doing good. Big love to the whole crew. That's the old school crew. Maruti 800, 2004. Anyways, how do you set up your own show? How do you create something? It's important to have some unique. It's important to have a unique approach to whatever it is that you do. So try to look at other shows. We have about 150 shows on Box Out FM itself. Check out what people are doing and check out what people aren't doing. And that's kind of where you can get some inspiration. The minute you get your idea together, it's really good to kind of like put things on a document, make a presentation for yourself or what you want your show to be. And that way you can actually achieve those goals if you have them written down somewhere. And yeah, you can hit me up and we can always talk more about it. I want to bring in Ritty. Is Ritty here? What up, Wayne? 264 crew. Yo, 264 crew is the original mix crew. The Come Down, Booty Bangers. How do we bring someone in? Tun, tun, tun. Anirudh. Is Anirudh here? We'll wait for someone from the team to come on before we get them on board. Haven't really used this option yet. Yeah, so Motelicast, 5 years this week. Yo, Ritty, request to join the conversation. Hello. Yo, get in. You guys got a request. I don't know how to do this. I'm like one of those old uncles you see like, yo, what are you doing? How do you do it?
Hi.
Yo. Hello.
How are you?
What up? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to just quickly give a little brief intro and then you can tell people about more things. So Ritty took over the artwork for Motelicast when we decided to relaunch. How I knew Ritty, I guess, from the Ajaz through the Deep Looney
Yeah.
Electronics.
Looney Gang for sure.
Yeah. And then you worked on Mollywood before that, or was that after?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It was before, right?
Yeah. It was kind of around the time.
Yeah.
So maybe you tell them a little bit about how you got to be part of this team and what it's been like.
So since I've always been following the Box Out crowd and all the events that we go for, and music means is really close to me. Of course, I can play or anything, but it's so good to attend your shows and all the things that you guys put up. And once you put up your post about how you were trying to put up a team and everything, I was like, dude, I got to be on this because I like how the freedom of everything that you give on your show on Motelicast and how it's been. So it wasn't rigid. It was completely open to all sorts of things from music to design. So I think that is how I got on.
That's cool. So Ritty basically looks after all the artwork, the design direction, also like things that I sometimes can't remember, like when I shared the new screen layout with you. I forgot that we don't use gradient colors.
Yeah. I think I just take care of all the aesthetics and visuals that I can, because everything else is so technical for me. What you guys do there, you Anirudh, it just goes over my head, and I'm like, okay, I'll just take care of everything visual that's happening.
Yeah. So we eventually started with just you as the designer, and then later on, Shane started to help us create adapts of the designs that you do.
Yes.
Where he would access the master file or open file, and we have to keep chasing him to send us something.
Yeah. Oh damn! Is he here? Do we have to chase him for this?
It's okay, we can. Tell him what you need. Tell him this will be here. Yeah.
I was gonna ask him to be here.
I deleted all the artworks for the last like 50 shows by mistake.
No. I'm still not over that.
Yeah, it happened.
What
I don't know.
was that?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it happened, but yeah. So also, let's give a background. Ritty is a designer, independent designer based out of New Delhi. You work with a lot of F&B outlets. You work with a lot of independent artists. You're also very well known for the Mollywood artwork, for the incredible
Waiting for the
delivery.
new ones to drop. Really waiting for the new ones to drop.
Okay, so not everybody knows this, but Mollywood Volume 2 is fully ready.
Yeah.
Ritti finished the artworks last month. That means that track list is complete. We're most likely going to be rolling them out next week. Another thing that people should know about is that we just managed to upload the first Mollywood to Spotify. So now you can find Mollywood on Spotify. We
Yeah,
hacked it somehow.
Finally,
So, yeah.
Spotify is always there.
Yeah. So Ritti worked on Mollywood 1 and 2. Did you do any stuff for Oster when we were doing some
No.
posters or no?
I don't think so.
Maybe
I tried doing some work on one of your that hotel launch party that was coming up with Box Art.
the Allah.
Yeah,
Allah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That
Maybe you can tell people how to find your work, how to get in touch with you. What is this your
I'm
personal
terrible
handle?
at it. I'm terrible at it. But yes, you guys people can find me on Some of Ritti on Instagram. That's my handle. I am not very active on it since I am social media shy or something like that. But yeah, hit me up on my Some of Ritti account. That's where you'll find
Yeah.
some of my work, and then I can hit you up with like other things that I do. It's not everything's out.
Yeah. Behance,
sure.
maybe you send me a link and I'll include it in the video when I upload any portfolio. If people
Damn,
need
you're
design
gonna
work,
hate me. I am just not on the internet.
hey, yeah, it's okay.
I'll work on
I'll-
that. Yeah.
I'll include your email. And
Thank
people
you.
can.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us
See you.
and have a good evening. Take care.
Yep.
What's Arjun saying? Oster party was Sijia, that shady French dude who, we'll do another talk about artworks in another conversation. Shout out Arjun Sodi, one of the originals, Box Out crew. So yeah, Ritti looks after the artworks and yeah, love the work, love the direction. There's not been a time where I replied back like change it or anything. It's been good. I guess we discussed this before the launch. So she knew what we wanted, and that's what it's been like. Let me bring on the Spotify man. Hello. Motelicast 5 years, episode 155
Yo.
today. Yo.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Hey. Yo.
Yeah.
Quick background. Anirudh, you're from Delhi, right?
Yeah, born and brought up in Delhi.
Born and brought up in Delhi. You kind of like joined us at Boxart for an internship for a short while, right?
Yeah, back in 2018 at the radio. Yeah.
So that we already had some sort of like communication, I guess. We like knew each other.
Yeah, and long before that, like I came to know about Box Out in like the first birthday, first Box Out Wednesdays.
Oh, Box Out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first Box Out Wednesdays, and we just completed third year of Box Out Wednesdays. So it's been a long journey, and in 2018 we met for the radio studio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there to Motelacast and so on.
Yeah. So basically, Anirudh was with us at Box Out for a short while, and then later on, when I put out the call to action, he was one of the people who wanted to contribute and help us relaunch Motelicast. Yeah, you remember how many documents we had in the beginning?
Yeah, man, there were a lot of documents, spreadsheets, lot of stuff. I mean, our drive was pretty much like very much exhausted. We just cleared it out.
Yeah, too much was going on. So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing most recently for Motelicast, and then tell us about your own show too.
Yeah, for Motelacast, I do playlisting and operations. So, like once Uday gets the track list ready, and once the show is air on Wednesdays, I update the playlist every Friday, or try to update it by Friday, and every month what we do is archive the playlist for the new month, and the tracks that we have are updated for the new month as well. And every week we have a new spotlight,
Yeah.
a
So
spotlight
let's
artist,
take a
and
pause 1 second.
yeah.
We basically made Spotify playlists because we didn't think only track listing on Mixcloud was enough for the artist. We wanted a way to really push the music. So we started the Spotify playlist. We had one playlist where we would update monthly, then we had one archive playlist. We wanted the playlist to always have fresh music so it doesn't feel boring. Therefore, we moved all the tracks from the main playlist to the archive. The archive has
Yeah,
like how many thousand? Like 1,000 tracks? I don't know. It's stupid.
like it has all the tracks from the very beginning since MotellaCast 2.0.
Yeah, yeah.
So from MotellaCast 2.0 till date,
Yeah.
all the tracks are over there.
Yeah. And we
So if
also,
anyone wants to if anyone wants to listen to the previous tracks, they can go check out the archive.
yeah. Tell them about the spotlight
Yeah.
artist. Why we started doing that.
So the spotlight artist, so we started the spotlight artist to help the independent artists and the new upcoming artists who require discovery. So with the spotlight artists, we highlight the track that we used in our podcast, MotellaCast, and we use their artwork as well. So this has helped them and us in terms of discovery.
Cross.
Yeah, so yeah, we share their tracks and they share our playlist. So it's like a two-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works really well because people who like that artist get to discover other artists who are similar. And then it's kind of like a chain reaction of that.
Yeah. And if you like that particular artist, you know what the vibe the playlist would have. So that helps in our discovery as well.
Yeah. Cool, man. And you also do your own
Yeah.
show, right? You have been doing your own show for a while now.
Yeah, I have a like MotellaCast inspired show. It is called Induce Nostalgia. It is an independent show that I do on Mixcloud. It's been more than an year that I've been doing that show regularly.
And it's
So
once
yeah.
a month? Once a month?
Yeah, it's once a month, every last week of the month. I try to complete it every last week of the month, but it's pretty hard. Like it requires a lot of work to do all of the stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
But hopefully we keep inspiring each other, and you know, there's a lot of music on the hard drive you can always access. There's always new stuff for discovery.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What's the name? How do people find your show?
Induce Nostalgia. Induce
Yeah,
Nostalgia on
just type it
Mixcloud. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna include links when I upload this on YouTube, so everybody can discover everybody's work.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody's saying you never completed on time. Don't lie.
Yeah. I always procrastinate. You know how I am with stuff.
I mean, you need sometimes a little push, and that helps. You know, like the push helps everybody push each other, and that's the whole idea of this.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with the COVID, no procrastination. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep. Let's see.
Cool, man. All right, bro. Thanks for coming on call. Update the playlist. Get the Spotify artwork.
Cheers, bro. Definitely.
Cheers. Speak soon.
Yo.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if Shane is here or Radius. Radius was the first non-international guest on MotellaCast. I don't see him here. But yeah, that's a little intro on MotellaCast, what we've been doing. Hopefully this gives somebody some inspiration to do what you love doing, whether it's a cooking show, writing a book, creating artwork, whatever it is. Just do it differently. Do it the way you like doing it. If you want to get involved with MotellaCast, We have a lot of work on hand right now. We're looking for video editors. We're looking for anybody who's able to do some animation, illustration. We're looking at producers, most importantly, to send us their music. Because without the music, what artwork are we going to make? Yo, Delhi What Up is the song of the hour. Delhi What Up is definitely the song of the decade. What is next? I think basically we just keep doing it, and we keep spreading the vibes. I wanted to start Motelicast as a daily show, but I think it's a little bit too crazy right now. So until that time comes, we'll keep doing it every Wednesday. Eventually, the label side of Motelicast, where to send music for Motelicast, radio@motelicast.live, or just DM me or DM Uday or Anirudh. Yeah, so the record label is already, we have 2 labels, Box Out FM Recordings and 264 Records. I'm thinking of a compilation, Motelicast compilation, City Goes Wax compilation. I think that's the natural progression for this kind of activity, is to create an outlet for distribution. And then we use a similar artwork direction, tone, communication, use the team to release this music. So yeah, if you have some music, feel free to send it to us. I'm going to upload this on YouTube, IGTV. Yeah, go listen. Whoa. Go listen to some old episodes. Listen to some old episodes. Explore the shows. What kind of
You're
music?
now tuned into Motelicast, hosted by DJ Mo City.
You're now tuned in to Motelicast, hosted by DJ Mo City.
Now, this is the part about something that you're going to have to learn to do during this intro. It's just a few months. You have to decide that you don't care what others think of you.
That's episode 2. Episode 2 was released, 5 years ago. What kind of music do you look for? I think by now, like, the way we discover or we track list is very, very different from what I do for my own, like, club shows and stuff. Personally, I like it to sound different, non-traditional. I like languages that I don't understand too. I don't know why. I play shit that I don't understand. I try to find out if the lyrics mean anything offensive, so we don't. Yeah, I try to play regional music more. Listening and track listing. I guess my search for music right now is not as active as it used to be. Yeah, man, I play techno, I play GABA, I play happy hardcore. We ended with a 160 BPM. You can send anything. If we vibe to it, we play it. We played a lot of artists from the region. But yeah, I haven't really been discovering too much music. What I've been doing is rediscovering my own music, which is my vinyl collection. And that's what City Goes Wax is about. For me to listen to my own vinyl and just kind of enjoy that, because I spent 15 years discovering that. I need to soak it in now. So sometimes I just listen to the same record for 5 hours. Nobody can tell me shit. And I like it because it works. It makes sense. I missed out on listening to those tracks before. So I'm kind of catching up on I have a decent vinyl collection. And then Bandcamp Day, I went a bit crazy. I still had money left on my birthday gift card. So I have about 15 albums, EPs that I have not even heard yet, like fully heard. I knew I needed this, but I didn't fully listen to it. What up, Anvit? Yo, so we're going to log out. I need to go make some dinner and do a track list. But yeah, just a quick intro, outro, Motelicast. We just completed 5 years. Motelicast is available on Box Out FM, Mixcloud. You can find the playlist on Spotify and the video stream on YouTube. Send us some music, send us some ideas, send us some feedback, and yeah, happy evening. I wish I had to go to Box Out Wednesdays, but I'm just going to listen to some Box Out Wednesdays from here. So see you guys. Enjoy the rest of the week.
You have to decide that you don't care what others think of you.